Jolteon, one of the OG electric Pokemon. Throughout the generations, it has always been one of the fastest Pokemon with 130 base speed, and has always hit pretty decently hard with 110 special attack. Now, a lot of people in the new generation, Generation 8, think that Jolteon isn't nearly as good without hidden power, because its coverage move, like it normally ran like Thunderbolt, Hidden Power Ice, Shadow Ball, Volt Switch, like those moves. But a lot of people didn't really consider that it got a new move. And so today, with this episode, I want to ask the question, does Jolteon potentially have a new niche that a lot of people really haven't thought about? And can we, specifically in draft, I don't know, I've looked at Jolteon in Inu, and there's possibly a way we could, really run it in Inu, but I don't know a lot about the Inu meta, right? So, this is just, a newbie thinking, hey, if you are in Inu, why don't you try this? But today's question, or at least the idea or theme, is can Jolteon use its new move to carve out a very, very specific and unique niche that a lot of different Pokemon specifically can't really do. It, to me, I'm looking at it, and if I'm right, it can potentially fill a niche that I really haven't seen any Pokemon be able to run thus far. So let's look at Jolteon real quick. Again, I already said it had 130 base speed, dude. It's blistering fast, dude. It has 110 special attack. It doesn't really have anything on the physical side, 60 defense, 65 special attack, or not special attack, regular attack. So, really, generally, you're not going to be doing anything physical with it, like physical tank or anything like that. But it does have a decently respectable special stat, and a lot of people sleep on it. It has a HP stat. I mean, it's not really great. But the move that I really think carves it out a new niche is Weather Ball. And here's why. Here's what I'm thinking, dude. What if you, specifically in draft, because again, the whole point of this series, I didn't express this in the very beginning, but the whole point of this series is to talk about new draft ideas. And, they're just ideas. That's what there is. I'm throwing an idea, and then hopefully, down in the YouTube comments, you guys could, type and be like, hey, I think this, and this, and, we could, have a discussion going on. But, my idea for this episode is, what if we ran Jolteon on weather teams, right? In Generation 7, we ran it on rain teams because, we got Thunder and some cool things like that. It got a Volt Absorb, which is the main reason why I think people really were attracted to it on rain, because it could absorb thunderbolts that were aimed at Pelipper. But I want you guys to stop and think for a second, right? Imagine Jolteon not on rain, but on hail team. Imagine you had an Alolan Ninetales team, and you had Weather Ball, right? So now you have a 90 base power Thunderbolt. Is it 90? Yeah, you have a 90 base power Thunderbolt and a 100 base power Ice Ball, right? Thunderbolt and Ice, ice moves, they have perfect coverage, right? And you could essentially build a team with Alolan Ninetales that benefits from hail, but doesn't necessarily have to have hail either. Right? Because, Jolteon can still run as a fast electric type that doesn't necessarily need hail. But it definitely, I feel, works extremely well with Alolan Ninetales, dude. They're both fast. They both hit hard from the special side, and they can really overwhelm the opponent, I think. That's the theory, at least. And I thought, in draft, what 3 Pokemon could you pair with it? So, obviously these were the 3 that I came up with, right? Because, you could pair Jolteon with Alolan Ninetales, and they have pretty good speed tiers. They got 100, 109, and then 130. And what's cool about these Pokemon is 2 of them have electric ice coverage, right? Because Mew has like every Pokemon move. But then they also, like, Ninetales gets Blizzard and Mew gets Blizzard. So you could potentially spam Blizzard. And what's super cool about this is ice types in general are terrible defensively. They have a lot of, like, weaknesses and things like that. So you get 3 Blizzard users and, well, not 3, like Jolteon gets Weather Ball, but you get 3 ice type users that have really strong ice type stabs that never miss, and like they're not all ice types, which to me is super appealing. Plus, like, Mew gets U-turn and Volt Switch, and Jolteon gets Volt Switch, so you can have like some Volt Turn things going on as you build like a team around these 3 Pokemon as like a core. And like you could potentially run like Hail Room, or even just like, because Mew gets Trick Room. So like I was thinking like you could run like Lax, like Snorlax, and you could have Curse Lax with Aurora Veil, dude, which is just absolutely monstrous. And or even not even bring Ninetales at all and run Mew, Jolteon, Snorlax, and run Trick Room with Belly Drum, right? Like, some ideas, right? Like, again, I'm not going to build a team around these Pokemon. These are just an idea to get, just an idea for you guys to go out and try yourselves, right? And then, like, come back to me, dude. I'd love to see replays and the team that you built and just have a discussion about all this stuff. So, I like talking. I'll talk with you as long as you're not, like, mean or rude or whatever. I don't mind, like, giving you my thoughts and my opinions and things like that. But I personally think, like, this could be really, really good in draft, but I think for Hail specifically, you're going to have to be very meticulous, and you're going to have to draft smart. Like, you can't just throw together everything. You'd have to really, really think about, like, all your picks and why you're picking what. But, like, to me, this team, specifically these 3, you could start something that's very unpredictable in draft, because you could just run, I feel like if you brought some slower Pokemon, you could run just straight Trick Room. Because Mew is very slow in Trick Room. Like, a lot of people, they look at fast Mons and they don't really think that they run in Trick Room. But, like, fast Mons in Trick Room are just slow U-turners. So, I mean, I feel like Mew would fit perfectly on a Trick Room team, if you ask me. I mean, it's fast, but I feel like you could make use of its fastness to your advantage if you play smart. But you could potentially run Trick Room, right? You could get like a low tier Trick Room setter that could help with that. You could potentially not even run Hail at all, or you could run Hail and spam the crap out of some Blizzards, dude. I really think that you could really make use of that, especially since like Bulky Waters would synergize well with Ninetales, I think. Because, like, the Jolteon, in my opinion, synergizes pretty okay with Ninetales because of, like, Steel type. Steel type specifically, because a lot of people want to bring Steel types to beat, or Steel type coverage in general to beat Ninetales, and you can bring Jolteon in and either threaten to KO or Volt Switch into something else. I mean, like, you could really, like, play hyper offensive, like, Hail with this thing, but also have, like, this bulky defensive side and Trick Room side. I mean, I could be wrong, right? But I really, truly believe you can make a really, really good team with these 3 Pokemon. I really do believe, but you'd have to be smart with it. Another thing I want to talk to you guys about Jolteon and weather is I want to explore other weathers, right? Because to me, Jolteon doesn't have to run in hail or rain or anything like that. I feel like it could really take advantage of all 4 weathers. Not so much sand, but really all 4 weathers. Because a lot of times when you run a weather team, people like to bring ways to get rid of it, right? Like, if I ran a rain team, people would be bringing Sunny Day on just about anything to try to get rid of it, because, like, that's how my whole team is centered around, usually. And to me, Jolteon fits a very specific niche now that it doesn't care what weather it is. it gets 100 base power stab fire move, which helps it beat the grass types that resist it and the ground types that are immune to it. Or in hail, it gets 100 base power ice move that obliterates all 3 of its resistances. Or in the rain, it gets a 100 base power water move that blasts away its immunity. And in sand, it helps with it helps give it like some unique coverage, but I mean, it doesn't really care for sand. So sand is kind of, to me, its weakness. But the other 3, dude, I really believe that it can take advantage of them if people are smart. So I'd really love to see like a weather team with Jolteon as its backbone. I really think it'd be really, really cool to see, and I really want to see it. So do it. And show me replays and stuff. So let's talk about rain for a second, dude. If you ran Ludicolo, Pelipper, and like Jolteon, for example, on a team, I mean, look at their speed tiers, right? 70, 60, and then 103. So you'll need some stuff to fill in the gaps in the middle. But like these 3 Pokemon really synergize really, really well together. Pelipper helps take out grass types, helps take out dragon types, and helps with Jolteon's immunity in ground, right? Like, generally ground types don't want to fight a Pelipper. Not to mention that Jolteon helps with Pelipper's 4 times weakness in electric. So, like, those 2 synergize really, really well together. And, like, to me, the reason why Jolteon sounds stupid in rain is because Weather Ball is 100 base power, but it can also spam Thunders, dude. Thunder. And it's 110 base power, and it never misses. So, like, you have 2 stab moves. Because, so for those of you who don't know, Weather Ball, it gets stab, and it gets boosted by the weather it's in. So, Weather Ball is always a stab move, and it's always boosted by the weather that it's in. Right? Let that sink in. Jolteon's now going to have 110 base power stab move that's boosted by rain, but it's also going to have a 110 water type, or not 110, base 100 move that is also stab and boosted by rain, right? So this thing could potentially, dude, just hit really freaking hard. And again, like, one of the weaknesses that I see with running Jolteon in like a weather team is generally you're going to have a very, very specially offensive team. So like you're going to have to, again, draft smart and try to draft some physical attackers. But I really, really think this is like a really cool idea. Like I've never seen anyone run Jolteon in anything besides rain. And I really think that Game Freak, when they dropped Hidden Power, they gave Eevee Weather Ball with this Pokemon in mind. I really do, because I really believe Jolteon can take full advantage of Weather Ball, and I really want to see some people do it. So do it, and show me the replays, and show me the teams that you built, and go out there and try some new things. I personally, in my next draft league, dude, I want to try to run a hail team, because I am notoriously better at weather. So I'm excited for that. Lastly, dude, this is Jolteon with like some sun people, like some sun Pokemon and stuff. I don't really think that type-wise these 3 Pokemon synergize like amazing. I mean, Torkoal and Venusaur do, but not necessarily Jolteon. I mean, Jolteon helps Torkoal in the sense that water types will want to try to take it out. But like, to me, I just feel like you could tack Jolteon onto a draft team centered around the sun, because you can take advantage of the sun, 1, and 2, like, fire electric coverage is really, really good. I mean, look at Rotom Heat, and look at Magnetric, and look at, I mean, like, electric types have been proven to work really well with fire type coverage. The only thing that resists both fire and electric is Dragon. And then, of course, you know, you'll always have, like, dual types and stuff that will resist both of any type. But, I mean, it's I feel like, dude, it's a Pokemon that's really slept on in weather, and I really want people to think about running Jolteon in weather, and I want people to do it because I think it will be really, really good. But that's really just the one thing I wanted to talk about is Jolteon in weather. I want people to think about it. I want people to do it and try it, and I want to see what happens. The whole point of this series, to me, is to one, try to like start making content on YouTube because I think it'd be really fun to just have discussions with people and to learn. And the whole point of this series in particular is to engage in conversation with people and to explore ideas that aren't really used that much. And I really think weather with Jolteon isn't really even thought of with most players. I think most players really overlook Weather Ball with Jolteon, and and there's other ideas and stuff that I have that I like to talk with people and see what they think about it. So I feel like I've just repeated myself over and over and over this episode. So maybe next time I'll get a notebook and try to do a script. But this is my first episode, so hopefully you enjoy. Hopefully I don't seem like an idiot. Hope you guys enjoyed. Comment what your thoughts are. Like, I'd love to talk with people and do things. So I guess this is my outro. Just awkward silence for like 5 seconds.